New York versus Texas. Which state is better to live in? Let's find out. Welcome back, y'all, to the Living in Central Texas channel. Again, my name is Chico Martinez. Thank you for tuning in. And if you can please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified about what's going on here in the Killeen Temple, Texas area. Today, I'm going to bring you a very intriguing video in reference to the difference between New York State and Texas. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have clients right now that they're going to be purchasing here from the state of New York. They're coming down to Texas in the summertime, and they're going to be looking to buy homes now in the summer and in the fall as of the making of this video. So I want to be able to not only serve them better, but also serve you better, just in case you're also from the tri-state area or from the New England area, so that you can kind of have a comprehension of the differences. Now let's get into the video talking about the difference between New York versus Texas. Choosing between Texas and New York can be a tough decision, as both states offer unique lifestyles, opportunities, and cultures. And this is very true. Before I do get or started or continue, I just want to give you a disclaimer. I'm trying to be unbiased by both states. Reason being that I say that is because I was born in New York. Growing up, I have a lot of fond memories of the great city of New York. It was known as the greatest city back when I was growing up. I wouldn't say that now, simply due to the politics that have created such chaos. Hopefully, the man in charge at the White House right now can take care of that or help New York come back to its former glory. But as of the making of this video, when I was born back in 85, and we're in 2025, so that kind of tells you my age. I remember, going to the Italian barrios, right? Or the Italian neighborhoods, Little Italy. You had Harlem, you had Spanish Harlem. You have great areas, going to Yankee Stadium and all that stuff. The reason why I tell you all this is because I currently live in the state of Texas, and I will tell you that I will die here in Texas, God willing. Texas is, for me, the greatest state in the nation, and we will see why in the coming up video. So that was my disclaimer, trying to be unbiased by both. Just try to give you the pros and cons of each, and then you can take it. So New York versus Texas, here we go. Number one, cost of living. What's the difference? Generally, the cost of living in Texas is lower than in New York, and the cost of living is higher, especially in urban areas like New York City. The reason why is because down here, right, when you look at the United States and you look at the bottom half of the states, down here there are different types of laws, right, when it pertains to real estate, especially like in the state of Texas. It's their Spanish law. It's not English law like it is up there, which also affects when you buy property. Okay, so another thing is that the economy down here, the lifestyle down here is a lot cheaper than it is up in New York. So the cost of living in New York, even though you do make more wages, it's also a lot more expensive, right? You're paying taxes like crazy, which down here in Texas, we don't pay that many taxes when it comes to the state income tax, right? But when it comes to other things like property taxes, yeah, we may get hit a little bit. Now, housing is more affordable with lower median home prices and rental costs than in New York. So housing prices and rents in New York are substantially higher in major cities. Again, it all comes to the economy. The more people there are, the more the city's going to try to take away from you. So comparing apples to apples, you can say that New York and San Francisco, maybe Austin is up there, certainly Miami. You have these great cities that offer everything to you, but it comes at a price, which is why you have a lot of people from the New York or from the tri-state or the New England area coming down here to the southern states like Florida, Texas, Tennessee, simply because of the incentives, right? So the cost of living down here is a lot cheaper. The food, when you compare it, it's a lot cheaper. The clothing. Now, some local Texans may be like, are you crazy? things are expensive. Yes, as a local Texan, right now, due to the inflation, due to the economy, yes, things have become a little bit more expensive. But remember, we're not comparing Texas within the suburbs of Texas, right? We're comparing the state in general to the state of New York in general. Now, another great thing that Texas does offer that New York doesn't is that Texas does not have a state income tax, which can save residents a significant amount of money. That is the greatest thing I believe that can happen to anyone living in any of the states in the United States is not pay a state income tax. Because not only are you working hard day in and day out for your family, you're trying to build a dream for your family. You have goals that you want to achieve, and then all of a sudden everything's getting taken away from you because Uncle Sam's getting in your pocket in every which way. They're already getting in our pockets when we buy at the grocery store, when we pay at the pump, when we use toll roads, even to drive your car. You have to get an inspection. You have to pay your city tax. So if you can alleviate a state tax, why not? Which is also bringing in a lot of major companies. And we're going to talk about that soon enough. Now, the great city, right, or the state of New York. New York has 9 income tax rates. 9 income tax rates. This is according to NerdWallet, okay? Ranging from 4% to 10.9%. So people who make above $107,000 are subject to a supplemental tax. So think about that, guys. If you're in New York, you're getting charged a state tax according to the income that you make. You're gonna be charged a certain type of income tax. And on top of that, if you make over $107,000, guess what? You're now gonna be subject to another tax on top of everything that you're already paying, called a supplemental tax. Okay? Think about that. You're getting taxed out the wazoo up in New York. What's the definition of a supplemental income tax? This is what it is. This tax applies to extra income that employees receive in addition to their regular wages or salary. Guys, hands down, I think, at least for this first paragraph, for the cost of living, I think Texas, hands down, wins the day. You want more for your money? You want a bigger bang for your buck? Give us a call and we'll help you buy here in Texas. Okay. Number 2. Now we're going to talk about the job market and the economy. Okay. So Texas has a diverse economy with strong sectors in technology, energy, healthcare, and finance, right? And this is true, especially when it comes to energy, right? Texas here down south, we believe and we have in something called black gold, which is oil, right? So the major producers, one of the major producers of all the United States from where the oil comes from is Texas. So Texas oil is a big deal here in Texas, which has a big economic boom, such as in Houston, right? Houston, you have the major oil companies on there. They're the ones that pretty much run the show, not only here in the States, but when it comes to oil around the world, right? Those are some big head honchos. Now, another good thing about the economy is a strong technology. Why? Because now Texas offers great incentives to businesses such as Tesla, such as Oracle. You have all these tech companies that are coming to the area of Austin because they're not going to be paying substantial taxes. Now, New York, however, is literally called the financial capital of the world, particularly in New York City, which hosts major financial institutions and corporations, aka Wall Street. Okay, so when you come and look at New York City is considered as pretty much one of the financial, if not the biggest financial sector in the whole world, because you have 3 top locations in the world when it comes to banks and money, which is New York, London, and Tokyo, Japan. This is where all the money runs through in the world, right? New York being number 1, especially with the New York Stock Exchange, right? That everybody knows of. Another thing would be in Texas, major cities like Dallas, Houston, and Austin are economic powerhouses with numerous job opportunities. Like I said, these big companies that are coming in droves here to the state of Texas that are leaving states like New York, leaving states like California due to the high regulations, the high taxes, they are now providing jobs to the local Texan so that we can also be able to survive this economic uncertainty. In New York has a strong job market in sectors such as finance, media, healthcare, and technology. Guys, I think even if you're not even from the United States, I think New York, you can actually kind of call it the capital of the world when it comes to these type of things. Entertainment, economy. So that's also a plus for New York. However, in Texas, business-friendly environment with no state income tax attract many companies and entrepreneurs. Just like I said previously. Just like, for example, let's just say like Joe Rogan. He was in California, and he's now in Texas, down in Austin, about an hour away from here. You have a lot of entrepreneurs that are coming into the Texas, especially into the Dallas, Austin, and Houston metros. And supposedly Texas is now going to be called, or at least they're calling Austin, the Silicon Valley #2, which means that these big companies like Samsung are also driving a big economic factor down here in the state of Texas. Higher average salaries in New York, but these are often offset by the higher cost of living. Yes, you can make a heck of a lot more money in New York, especially in New York City, but you're also paying a whole lot. Here in Texas, you may not get paid as much as you would in the city of New York, but the cost of living here, your dollar stretches a lot more. Now, here's a very important fact. As of 2024, the state's GDP of Texas was approximately 2.709 trillion. I said trillion with a T, ranking second in the US. While New York in 2024, the state's GDP was 2.297 trillion, ranking third in the US, which means that Texas, even though New York is a big financial hub, technology, you have the arts out there, actresses, big Hollywood companies out there. What it's showing you is that now there's a cultural shift due to the economies within the two states, because Texas, as of 2024, is ranking #2 in the state's GDP, while New York is #3. In other words, there's more money coming into the state of Texas than there is money coming or being produced by the state of New York. Think about that, guys. So that's just giving you an idea of how powerful the state of Texas is becoming. And if this continues, if this trend continues, man, I tell you, Texas is just going to blow up within the next 10 years. It's just going to become a complete different landscape, okay? So higher salaries in the state of New York does not mean better living. Unemployment in the state of Texas stood at 4.1 in February, while unemployment in the state of New York was 4.3. I don't want to elongate this video any longer. I think for the first two, which is the cost of living and the job market and economy, when it comes Texas versus New York, in this video as a part 1, Texas takes the cake. So for more information, guys, if you guys are interested, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bells. If you're looking down a move down here, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll definitely get back to you, and we'll help you make that smooth move to or from the state of Texas here in our area. And stay tuned for the next video in New York versus Texas. Talk to you all soon.